talk about going up against Coach Spurrier. You've both been around for a few years and both maybe got some tricks up your sleeves.
Well, it'll be exciting, but I know Coach Spurrier's kind of a legend. He said he likes me. Yeah. He says he does? He's got to be lying.
Only 3 games remain on the Arkansas schedule, and if the Razorbacks are going to reach a bowl game, they must pass through a gauntlet of ranked opponents unscathed. Hitting the road for only the 3rd time, the Hogs will face the head ball coach, Steve Spurrier, and 8th-ranked South Carolina on Saturday.
Every place you go in the SEC, I mean, you're going to have 60 to 100,000 people, and it's going to be packed and it's going to be loud.
You know, you're going against the road, you know, the whole world's against you. And so you got to know that. You know, it's going to be loud, you're going to be screaming, you know, things are going to happen wrong. You got to know that going into the game.
It's always going to be a very big environment. South Carolina's a big program. They're very successful this year. It's going to give us an opportunity to go play on a big stage and show a little bit what we can do, maybe surprise some people and give them a fight and give us a chance to win late in the game.
Hustle, play the game with energy and enthusiasm so we can win. Care about your teammate, support your teammate, pat your teammate on the ass, show them some love.
If you want to replicate the intensity of an opposing SEC stadium, look no further than wide receivers coach Chris Sinkovich.
Don't freaking come up under it. Cross field. Keep going. Get the safety. Get the safety. Get him, Demetrius. Run him off. Good. Through the flag. That's the way. Good job, Mikhail. Way to see it, Mikhail.
He's always yelling. He's always he screams like, God, this guy doesn't stop screaming. But that's how we practice. We practice hard.
At some point, you're a young kid, and there's a football player you like, and all of a sudden you end up with his jersey on, and then you're out in the front yard or out in the street playing football. When you have choices of what you could do all over the place, you could do a ton of things, but that's what you do because you really like it. And there's no reason that has to go away when you get to this level. Play through it, receivers. Play through the flag. Play through the flag. Come off. Nice. Get off him. Get that hand off. Get that hand off. Sometimes you can let, the pressure and the need to win. You don't want to let that overwhelm you because it's a great game. The game should still be played with energy and enthusiasm. So that's kind of what drives me. A lot of these guys we've seen before. We've been playing against them, seems like ever since I've been here.
Now in his 3rd year with the Razorbacks, Sinkovich coached 3 wideouts who were taken in the NFL draft last April. This season, his prized pupil is senior wide receiver Kobe Hamilton. Against Tulsa last Saturday, the Texarkana, Texas native broke the school record of 66 catches in a season and finished the game with 11 receptions for 177 yards in the Hogs' 19-15 win.
Tyler's throwing deep down the right sideline. The pass is caught inside the 20 by Kobe Hamilton.
That was an unbelievable catch.
There have been a lot of great receivers that have played for the Razorbacks over the years. And at some point, you might have to start mentioning Kobe in the same breath with some of the all-timers.
With 1,077 yards on the year, he sits only 40 yards shy of the Hogs' single-season mark, which could very well be broken against the Gamecocks this weekend.
Finish! Accelerate out! Finish, Kobe! Finish! Accelerate out! Hustle back! There's a deep pride that sometimes people don't see to be good at what he does because he's got that disarming personality, and can have fun and stuff. But there's a deep pride and deep drive to be successful that I see that I like. Give him a little crack. Bang, that away. Good. Now drive him out. Get your feet hot. Feet hot, Kobe. That's the way. Nice crack.
It's just who's going to compete harder. That's just been a big thing for me. Just want to compete. All those 50-50 balls. It's just who wants to compete more, who wants it more, and who wants it more. Most likely want to win.
Keep pushing up. Get off it. Take him high, Kobe.
He always finds a way. They're going to key on him, and he makes plays, and hopefully we can get him a couple more records before he's out of here.
What's the best part about going on the road?
Everybody's booing you. Everybody wants you to go down. Everybody wants you to fail. That's the best feeling. Everybody wants you to fail and succeed.
In the hunt that were preseason favorites going in. So let's start off, guys, with Denard Robinson. Brock, I think the Michigan opener versus Alabama, not to mention the 4-turnover performance versus Notre Dame, doomed him from the beginning.
That's exactly right. And the Big Ten has struggled, and you nail it there, Tom. It's on the big stage. We all watched week 1, and he struggled to throw the ball. And then to come back and have Notre Dame, an opportunity to maybe put Alabama in the distance, and he didn't. 4 straight possessions with interceptions for Denard.
I think coming into the season, Tyler Wilson was behind the 8 ball. Way too much was given to this offense as a scheme and not enough given to the inexperience of the players around him, plus the off-the-field distractions with Bobby Petrino's dismissal. Move on to Arkansas then and Tyler Wilson. Let's just imagine, if we can, that we don't have the distractions. We don't have the situation happen with Bobby Petrino. You know the scheme. You know how well they were coached. The quarterback position, Tyler Wilson had a phenomenal year a year ago, even with the losses of Jarius Wright and Joe Adams and all those targets that they become so accustomed to developing a relationship with. Could Arkansas and Tyler Wilson been good enough as a team for Tyler Wilson to stay in it, Mark?
They would have scored 40 points a game and given up 60. It doesn't. I mean, it didn't matter. I mean, and Niall Davis wasn't healthy like we thought he'd be coming back from a broken ankle. But I think maybe we underestimated how important Bobby Petrino was on game day. Mm-hmm. And then, I didn't think John L. Smith was the right choice to begin with, but, I think this probably helps Petrino's cause out on the job market.
John L., how much time you guys want to spend on this?
Hot.
He was hot the day they hired him.
Well, he's an interim, isn't he? He doesn't have a contract for next year.
You know what, though? I'm not so sure. Had he come in and had a 10-2 or something with his coaching background, his resume, I'm not so sure he wouldn't have been at least in line to be the guy.
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a brilliant hire, only because it was a stopgap measure. He knew the personnel. He had an affinity with the coaching staff. He wasn't going to change things, and that would allow the most continuity from Bobby Petrino's program. It did not work out.
Yeah, I love the hire too, and especially when I saw them during the media days, how the players were just really taking control of the offense. They were buying into the fact that this was their team and they were going to win it regardless of the circumstances. And I thought was his character being able to kind of lighten up the mood every now and then, right, with his quirkiness and the things that he said would be a good little addition to that team. I didn't like the way he managed the games. I didn't like the way he motivated his players because they shouldn't have lost the games that they did lose, regardless of how much defense they had. So, obviously, I'm on a double hot poker stick right there.
Pesky Louisiana Monroe Warhawks.
Yeah.
They started this snowball rolling. All right, little nugget on this matchup here. Arkansas, South Carolina. Brock, give me something.
South Carolina's got to respond, okay. and obviously the tragic injury and one of the hardest things I've frankly ever watched, because I think Marcus Lattimore, one of the most likable kids in the game, they've got to respond emotionally, and Connor Child's got to take care of the football. If they do that, I can't imagine them stumbling against Arkansas.
I think this all comes down to the defense of South Carolina really getting after Tyler Wilson. Jadeveon Clowney's got a little of an ankle issue. It looks like he's probably going to play and be fine. But, being able to get after that quarterback and slow Tyler Wilson down. Listen, Arkansas still has a lot of weapons. And if they get hot, they can really make life miserable for you. Kobe Hamilton is not some average receiver. Greg, the tight end, is not just a normal guy out there. So they can put points on the board. Just a matter is how often can they stop you.
South Carolina could sneak into the Sugar Bowl. Georgia loses badly in the SEC championship game. Florida loses to Florida State. They beat Clemson.
Nobody's played a more difficult schedule than South Carolina.
And they know how to win. They've won before after losing Lattimore. So the reality is they can win, and they can still match up with people.
Well, little nugget just in now. Michigan has decided to replace Notre Dame on the schedule with Arkansas and BYU. Obviously with Notre Dame, with 5 ACC games coming around the bend. So you'll see a change in Michigan's schedule coming up with Arkansas and BYU being added.
In their 3 previous meetings against the Gamecocks, Arkansas has come away triumphant with an average margin of victory of 18 points per game. If the Razorbacks are going to win, history is on their side.
We've had a good tradition against these guys, particularly the last 3 years, so we try to build on that. But our guys understand that we can line up with these guys.
Okay, as we talked about, we're the key to the game. Okay, guys, for 4 down, as we well know, we've played these guys every year. A lot of them returning. We've played against them. Basically, they get into a 6-2 goal line in Tex.
Familiarity has bred contempt between Arkansas and South Carolina after 20 consecutive seasons of competition. But the same cannot be said for the Hogs offensive line, a group that is together all the time.
Know where you're at. This is a point of no return. When you're at the depth of the queue, they're going to come back. That's when you sit.
This offensive line, I feel like, is the one group on the field that has to be a unit at all times. You know, you got 5 guys that have to be on the same page constantly throughout the entire game, and if one of them isn't, it completely just shuts down and breaks down.
Come here! You should have took him and buried him! You'd start finishing!
That's why people always see us together. We live together, hang out together. You know, we're just always around each other, and I feel like that's how it has to be in order to be successful.
Good! Under!
In 4 days, the O-line will face one of the most fearsome defensive ends in the country in Jadeveon Clowney, who is tied for 10th nationally in sacks.
Here's how they do it. They ice pick and they spin hard. Get them up. Get him. Be a boxer, huh? Boom, boom. Stick and move. Stick and move. Step and throw it. Throw it. Everything starts up front, and you know, for an offense to be successful and to work and be cohesive, you know, your front's got to play very well together. I mean, I just have always felt that. You know, you're only strong as you are up front. Sit down, Tyler. There you go. Good finish! Good finish! Come on, backers! Good finish!
You know, most of us are nice guys. I feel like everyone would just assume that we're all mean and stuff like that. But you know, we can flip that switch when we step on the field. But as soon as we step off the field, you know, I feel like people think that we're just mean all the time, and that's not true.
Christmas may be more than a month away, but you don't need a holiday to have a feast when you're the offensive line.
Mitch has a bunch of stories in this one. Any stories, Mitch? Not TV, bro.
Junior center Travis Swanson is their ringleader on and off the field.
I think we have some of the best senses of humor on the team.
Right. They should shove about 20,000 pounds into one corner of the locker room and stuff. You gotta live with each other.
There's really no other sport we could play other than football at our size. Lacrosse?
Basketball? Lacrosse?
Lacrosse?
7th grade, I played tight end, fullback for a couple plays.
I lined up as a receiver on one play.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well.
Yeah, that didn't work out. You were wide open, too. I was. I'm telling you.
The Hogs O-line averages over 304 pounds per starter, but to play up front requires smarts as well as size. Before each game, they take a test on the opposition, and like most things with the line, it turns into group work.
Probably what you were saying earlier, what do people not know is we're actually really smart. A lot more goes into it than just running into people in a different color jersey.
Especially in our office.
Quarterbacks, O-line, everybody.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah. I hate to be a kicker.
Yeah, for sure.
They have the worst.
I can't deal with that pressure. I can do that.
Junior Zach Hawker is never the envy of his teammates on Saturdays, but during the week, that's another story.
Zachary doesn't do anything during practice. As far as physically, doing anything physically or catching ball, moving, I haven't seen anything. I see Zach the last 10 minutes of practice kicking field goals, and that's about it.
Man, I wish I was Zach Hawker doing practice, but I always tell him this, man. I wish I was you doing practice, but during the game, you know, I don't want to be you.
Man, you have the easiest job on the team. You don't do anything during practice. You know, coaches that aren't in there watching you, or it's just one of those things you have to laugh along with. And you know, by this time, if you're a kicker in college, you've heard every joke in the book, so you can actually come back with them and joke along with them. But people have a misconception about how easy it really is to get out there in front of that many people and to keep your technique and actually make that kick.
In the SEC, there's no joking as to the importance of the kicker, especially when you're the Razorbacks.
Tied at 27, 31-yard field goal from the middle of the field, 3 seconds to play. This is it. It's a good snap, good hold. The kick's got the distance, and Ole Miss has won this football game.
It's in that SEC environment where the fans are just nuts about their team. You know, it was just hard to even be out on the field and function, just trying to think out what you have to do just because the fans are so loud.
Good inside press.
Personally, I enjoy it. I like playing away like we are this weekend. There's not a better feeling than having tons of people that hate you, yelling, screaming at you, and then come off the field with a win, and then coming back to Fayetteville with that win.
Today's like perfect Thursday. It's like it has to be perfect. You want like all the small little errors, just the little things. Want to be correct on today. We just got to keep finish throughout the season. We want to win every game. Hopefully get bowl eligible. These last 3 games are going to be really crucial for us because we're playing top 10 ranked teams. It's real fun for us. This team's really going to find themselves in these last 3 games, and we're going to see what we're made of.
One day remains until the Razorbacks head to South Carolina, and only one practice remains to perfect the strategy.
Get your mind right, get ready to have a great day. Get your mind right, get ready to have a great day. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Gotta go make a play. Gotta go make a play. Gotta go make a play on that. Let's go. Go score, go score, go score. Out of the way, Kobe. Would you get him going? You guys get him going, you front guys. Come on, come on. Here we go now. Let's pick it up. Pick it up. The faster you go, the better we look. Everybody, left your sideline. Get the call. You guys got to come off. We got to go harder than that. Hurry up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Ah, pretty good. Hurry back. Come on, black shirts. Get it going, Cornell. Get it going. That was damn good. Okay, let's get mentally sharp. Let's get in there. We're going to get about a half-hour meeting time in. Okay, come ready to go tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Ready to go. Okay, let's get a break. Here we go.
Let's go. Bring it up. Let's go. Gotta believe it. Okay, let's go.
Not every member of the Arkansas traveling party will fly to South Carolina. A cadre of equipment managers packs a mobile equipment room with everything the Hogs need on the road, from shoulder pads to 30 cases of Gatorade. They will make the 14-hour drive to Columbia, South Carolina, ahead of the team.
The most difficult part is definitely just packing up everything in Fayetteville and then going to a different city.
2, 3.
Loading, it's like Tetris.
Yeah, you got to put it all together to make sure it fits.
On the weeks that we travel, I'm mainly responsible for making sure everything is packed for the guys. It's making sure they got their shoulder pads and knee braces, and it's just more or less making sure they have all those. So when they go out to the field, they don't have to come find us and looking for those items.
We got Coach Combs. We got both Coach Combs. We got game gloves. Did they bring the 2 hand shields?
Yeah. Yes.
Even though this is routine for the 15 student managers, it's not always an exact science.
Film him.
Definitely.
Push up bags.
Every week he is dumped over.
I've dumped one cart. One cart.
But you fell down on one and then you dumped the other one.
Okay, I had no traction.
I think it's more or less just a lot of hours, and you have to put in and you sacrifice not seeing the people you love, but it's all good. Yeah, I enjoy it. I've enjoyed this ever since I was a student, and I couldn't think of doing anything better.
Let's get excited as it gets a little bit closer, as the end of the day comes. Heck, by this time tomorrow morning, we're about ready to take the field and play the game. All right, so about 24 hours away. Okay, 24 hours away. Everyone in here, do everything in your power to get yourself from right now till then ready to go win this game.
Our guys understand that when we go on the road, it's very business. It's it's not laughs, it's not giggles, it's not any of that. It's very serious, it's very focused. So we travel with a certain mindset that it's a business trip and that we have to get the job done when we get there.
It's Friday afternoon, and the Razorbacks have touched down in Columbia, South Carolina. After its 900-mile journey, the equipment truck has also arrived, and the managers unload the gear. Then they prepare the locker room, attending meticulously to every detail.
first time in over a month, the Razorbacks are playing a game outside the borders of the natural state, and we greet you on this Saturday morning from Columbia, South Carolina.
Our boy DR, throw that away, baby. Let's go today, Six. Let's go today.
We're inside Williams-Brice Stadium, and Keith, Arkansas has had success against South Carolina. They've got confidence playing against this team.
They sure do, but the question becomes, is this one of the teams like Texas A&M that has been waiting for Arkansas to show up to finally beat them, or is this a team that's susceptible to giving up a victory because of all the injuries they've had up until this point, Chuck?
2 weeks ago, South Carolina lost star running back Marcus Lattimore to a season-ending knee injury.
Holmes decides to take the knee, and the ball will come out to the 25-yard line. That's where Arkansas will take over. It's coming to the game. Out of the shotgun, Wilson with some pressure, and there's Hamilton. He has it at the 30 and should have the first down beyond the 35-yard line, an 11-yard gain. Thanks for today's game. There's the quick pitch. It goes to Nate Holmes. And he is rustled down at the 43-yard line. Trip to Atlanta. 3rd and 17. Wilson with plenty of time, and there's Hamilton. And his yards after catch are incredible. Run out of bounds all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Out of the shotgun. It's Miles again, this time well read by Arkansas defensively. You saw this is trial and error by fire for them as Demir Bird takes it on the end around, set up at the slot. And that was well read by Ross Rasner, the senior from Waco, Texas, leading tackler for the Razorbacks with the stop.
Well, Ross Rasner, right here, you see him. He's going to come up and support Barrow. He's a safety.
Play clock winding down. They get it off just in time to Kenny Miles on the pitch. And this one was doomed from the start as the play clock was winding down in Arkansas.
Trey Flowers, number 86, did a great job stringing this play out and not creating any kind of a seam for Kenny Miles to cut back in. They controlled the line of scrimmage, got back, but he's going to make his presence felt.
On 2nd and 4, that pass is caught by McKay, and he's inside the 15-yard line. Swearinger.
Well, the true freshman, Mikhail McKay, runs a nice quick out right here. Catches his 14th ball of season, and a bad angle taken on the tackle.
2nd down at 6. Malone set back is stopped in his tracks right at the line of scrimmage by the Arkansas defense. Shotgun. Pressure off the left side, and Shaw is sacked back at the 3-yard line.
A.J. Turner just going to shoot the gap right through the guard-centered gap right there up the middle. Connor Shaw felt him, was able to slip away initially, but not able to break away totally. And what the support troops got there for Arkansas, it was not good news for Connor Shaw and company. He steps up. He's got a nice window there, but
set back as Arkansas sets up again in great field position. Wilson with plenty of time, and that pass is caught. The favorite target, Hamilton's got it.
Tandem can hit play. You see right there in the slot, number 11, Kobe Hamilton just going straight to the middle of the field. But the play action is what held the linebackers and opened up the middle.
Wilson, 8 straight completions. Let's see if he can keep his drive going. Underneath again. Number 15. Wilson, right over the middle, and it's caught by...
Watch him stand in there, totally exposed, make the throw, and take the shot from Jadeveon Clowney. Good throw right there for the big touchdown, Arkansas.
No way Bowens is going to stop that, huh?
Not Bowens. He was in good position again, but he just a little bit too late, a split second too late to make that break on the ball.
Wilson and company. Let's see if they can have a return to sender here on this series. Dennis Johnson is the lone setback. Passes to the back shoulder and a beauty to Hamilton. That is textbook. Right in front.
Victor Hampton. Kobe Hamilton just runs straight up the field. He and Tyler Wilson are on such good chemistry right there. I mean, that ball almost hits Victor Hampton, but...
Talk about getting it out quickly. He did that time. The pump fit and a beauty. And on the long crossing pattern, Julian
Kobe Hamilton right there at the bottom, one-on-one.
And it's McKay up at the top. He's got it at the 15. Great cut. Now he goes outside, and he's down at the 3-yard line. Nifty move to get past Bryson Williams, number 12, the free safety. 18-yard pickup.
And as nifty as the move was, that's how poor the tackling was by Victor Hampton on the outside. We've seen a lot of open field misses by South Carolina defenders today on the outside. And right there, Victor Hampton had a chance.
Who has been outstanding from 20 yards away, boots it through. He is tops among active SEC place kickers. 76% his success rate. It's 14-10. Guys are also above 6'4", 6'5". A lot of height in that forward wall. Well, that's a beautiful call. Dennis Johnson on the draw. Those are short, choppy steps I was talking about. Out to the nearly the 40-yard line. And the first down.
Oh, the balance right there. I mean, I think everybody in the stadium felt like the tackle was already made by DJ Swearinger, but it just ended up propelling him to another 10 yards. One day, it could be any one player standing out.
Miles trying to cut that run right into Chris Smith. Well, we touched.
That's a 97-yard touchdown run, and there's another one right up the middle. I don't blame those guys for not wanting to stick their nose in there and tackle that.
South Point High School. On third down, Wilson in trouble. His pass is caught by the tight end, Volsky. Boy, he threaded the needle there in a dangerous position, rolling to his left. That took some ability, didn't it? Shaq Wilson the stop.
It sure did, and it was a very risky throw again, but that's Tyler Wilson's mentality. This ball could have been picked off going the other way. We've heard from every person that we've spoken to about Tyler Wilson, and he's got a lot of talent to go along with.
Jonathan Williams cuts it back. What a great move. And he stopped at the 10. That was a stop on a dime cut that he made. Bryson Williams, the stop.
Well, this is a true freshman, Jonathan Williams. We expected to see a lot of Dennis Johnson. We have, but this series we're kind of getting a featuring of.
He has a 20-yarder, looking for a 21-yarder here is Hawker. Not many are more efficient than him. Take it, bounces it outside, and is run down. That was a really nice play by the fourth down play by Spurrier when Shaw found Ellington. On second and 6, Davis tripped up. Good penetration and a late flag coming in. Trey Flowers made the stop.
South Carolina can hang on. It would be the second year in a row South Carolina's won 6 games in the SEC. Never been done before.
And been dominating the East.
They sure have.
Last 3 years, including the year they did represent the East in the SEC title game. As you see the sack of Connor Shaw. Green coming through. Jared Green, 57, the senior from Little Rock, Arkansas.
So one thing that John L. Smith was adamant about when talking about his team was the fact that
certainly by committee, he and Davis have taken over for Lattimore quite well. And there is another pop by Jared Green out here in Columbia. Looking for the corner, and it's picked off. Tevin Mitchell. He was looking for Rory Anderson.
If the game were more competitive at this point, I'm not justifying anything because this throw was a poor read and a poor decision. You cannot ever justify.
Field now for South Carolina behind Dylan Thompson with 5 and change remaining in our game. And Blue's going to take the pitch. Little guy.
He's to Kobe Hamilton. This is the guy that has had 23 catches in the last 2 games. He had a 300-yard game. He averages 10 receptions a game.
Nice move by Keon Hatcher after the catch. He's down at the 40-yard line.
Going to let his team quit on him. He wants to go out and at least fight.
Wilson's got a wide open receiver, and it's caught for a touchdown. Demetrius Wilson, number 81. And Tyler
Wilson in the back of the end zone, and Tyler Wilson finally finding him in the back of the end zone. You see him moving to his right a little bit. Demetrius Wilson, big target in the back of the end zone, gave him a spot to put that football.
Well, both he and Keon Hatcher have their first receptions as touchdowns as Razorbacks this year. Hawker will try for the extra point. Timeout. 39 seconds remaining in this one. The South Carolina Gamecocks lead it by a score of 38-20.
The Razorbacks lose their 4th conference game and their 6th on the season. Kobe Hamilton finishes with 4 catches for 72 yards to remain atop the SEC. Zach Hocker is perfect on the day with 2 field goals and 2 PATs. The Razorbacks now have no margin for error if they are to make a bowl game. They must win their final 2 games against Mississippi State and 7th-ranked LSU.
It's not necessarily the bowl game, it's our extended life. It's that we get to be together for another month. It's that we get to, do all of these things. So, hope we go out and play our very best.
This is a defining moment to kind of check a number of guys' character. And, if you're one of those good guys that's going to, sack up and go to battle again, you're coming with us.